Asia is the largest and most populated of the continents. Some 60% of the global population, 4.3 billion people, live and work here. The region is dynamic and rapidly growing. Asian countries have a combined GDP of around $20 trillion US, which is increasing at around 8% each year. This growth is offering our clients unprecedented opportunities and challenges. To better meet these needs, Nielsen has this year formed an innovation team based in Asia, linking into the global Nielsen community and leveraging its experience. So we'll hear from team members how they tackle questions like, how do we use satellite navigation to help field staff navigate to, in, and around the survey regions? How can we detect and remove incorrect data while a field staffer is still in the survey region, saving them having to come back on a separate day? How do we find out new store types or purchasing behaviours before they become significant? And finally, how can we use satellite imagery to classify regions, urban or rural? Their work embodied the Nielsen values. First of integration, as they needed to work with colleagues across many teams to understand the issues. Then they had to build simple, practical solutions to meet the needs of our colleagues and ultimately our clients.
Currently, the urbanity status of the sampling areas is derived from official government data. The drawbacks are, firstly, the refresh rate of the government data is slow, between 3 to 5 years for each update. And secondly, the availability of government data cannot be guaranteed with each update. This brings technical challenges to the current rural-urban classification scheme adopted by Nielsen, and it is difficult to maintain the classification consistency from year to year. Using satellite images allows Nielsen to develop a more consistent and scientific methodology to determine the urbanity status of the sampling areas in Indonesia. This will enable Nielsen to have a classification scheme that is not dependent on the information published by the Indonesian government.
The annual Retail Establishment Survey is the main foundation for our reports to clients. During RES, the data collected by the field team is sent downstream to other Nielsen entities for quality checks. Any quality issues found in the earlier batches of data will be sent back to the field team for verification. The field team will have to divert valuable field resources and incur transport costs to check on these queries. Such a checking procedure increases the data cycle time and generates unnecessary delay in the delivery of clean data. We are now interested in developing an online data checking system to firstly automate the quality checks performed after the completion of survey for an area and deliver reports directly to the data collector and his supervisor via emails or direct push to the handphones so that any quality issues can be addressed while the field team is still in the vicinity. Secondly, ensure all collected store records are subject to field validation versus the current situation of randomly selecting records for checks by the field team.
Nielsen provides the retail tracking services based on a breakdown of the different store types. One of the challenges in fast-growing emerging market is that some newly growing retail channels or store types are not identified and included in the RMS. To address this issue, we have developed a big data segmentation process to identify emerging channels before they become significant. This approach helps us to improve the accuracy of our RMS rate and also enhance Nielsen's credibility with our clients.
The retail tracking services of Nielsen are a vital source of information for our clients in their formulation of market strategies and their business decision-making process. With rising incomes, the emerging economies in Asia represent a growing market for our clients' products. However, unlike the developed regions in Europe and North America, the retail markets of Asia's emerging economies are highly dynamic and fast-changing. This poses a challenge to us since the tried and tested approach of conducting an annual retail establishment survey can no longer give an accurate representation of the size and structure of these markets. An innovative methodology referred to the Rolling Retail Establishment Survey, or RRES, which is the fruit of labor of all the people involved in the project, was recently launched in this part of the world with Indonesia as the pilot country. RRES entails continual fieldwork and more frequent updates of the retail universe, which allows us to present a more up-to-date and accurate representation of the Indonesian retail market to our clients.